Hey, I am here to welcome Reverend Christina K. Jones as our guest speaker today. We are so pleased to have her here. Reverend Christina, is a Centers for Spiritual Living minister, transformational coach, teacher, motivational speaker, and author. She was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. 7 generations of powerful ancestors in her lineage have passed on metaphysical and spiritual principles which were deeply embedded in her family traditions from Africa, Native America, France, and Germany. She has been a corporate executive at Fortune 500 companies, the defense field, and electronics, a model and actress, and a restaurant manager. She has served at various nonprofit foundations, domestic violence shelters, and homeless shelters across the country. She is currently participating in the International Coaching Federation program. Reverend Christina lives, plays, and thrives in the magical mountains of Denver with her husband, as well as around the world. She is a healing emissary of light for herself and the world. So look for information also about Reverend Christina's new focus ministry through Centers for Spiritual Living called Divine Feminine Evolution. It will be on social media. Her Facebook page is Christina Jones, and her Instagram is I am Christina K. Jones. So please help me welcome Reverend Christina K. Jones.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Alice, and thank you, Robert, and everyone here at Center for Spiritual Living in Denver. And I'd like to thank Reverend Elzia, who is on a trip, for allowing me to support this beautiful community in Denver, Colorado, and around the world. Robert's song, I love How Big Is Your We, because today's message is we are made of star stuff. And when Reverend Elzia shared that with me, I was moved to look it up. And Carl Sagan came up with that phrase many years ago. Some of you may or may not remember Carl Sagan, the scientist and astroscientist and astronomer who said billions and billions and billions of miles. And it brings me back to that eternal we that we all are. And the star system of how grand it is, which is how grand God is, and how beautiful it is, and how we're all connected to that beautiful star stuff, that beautiful universal field. Is time for us to tap into. As Robert said, we tap into it. How big is our we, as we are all one? So today's message, I will provide some slides. Diego, who is our spiritual producer, running the background and having fun. He will be putting up various slides today. And 3 key points I would love for everyone to take into their day and their week and their hearts is look at the stars and take the time out to be with the oneness, to be with the allness. So the first thing I'm going to talk on is the star stuff. Some of the nerdy basic things of our DNA. And beautiful Diego, if you could put up our first slide for us. Recently, a couple of weeks ago, NASA has new pictures from the Hubble and the James Webb, those huge telescopes as big as all of our hearts. And this one right now is of the Butterfly Galaxy. And the next one is the new nebula that they have found, that is discovered, that we get to see this, that we are made of the star stuff. And I'm going to touch on that right now. The stars are made, many of them are made of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, so many minerals, so many elements that we are made of. There is iron on the moon. Our bodies cannot live without minerals. That iron that's on the moon is very similar to the iron that's in our bodies. We are so connected to the DNA. We need calcium that has been found on planetary systems and other star systems. That is made of our DNA. We cannot live without these. So we are made of stars. We are made of this grand, beautiful star stuff that's essential to human life. The solar system. Think of the word solar. Comes from the word the sun. The solar plexus in our chakra system. Think of today's language as most of it is from star stuff. It is from that light, that oneness. We are connected throughout billions of years. They still do not know what is the end of the universe. Scientists are still contemplating. And as they contemplate and formulate new theories, new observations, we on planet Earth still cannot see beyond the beyond of the universal field. I do feel and know we can through inner contemplation, going deep within so we can see into the stars. Sometimes within and through our power center of the solar system, we're also working throughout all the chakra systems of the love, light, and oneness of that we all are. We are connected in so many ways. There are some theorists that believe that there's over 500 different Earths, like our Earth. We breathe oxygen. There are other planets that utilize oxygen. There are other star systems they cannot explain. Science still cannot truly explain the soul, the human body. We cannot be recreated except through the one source, that one force in the universe, which is in us. God, the divine, whatever works for you to tap into that starlight system, that universal star that we are. We are connected to that in so many ways. And great scientists have always known that, and they still do and continue to know. And Diego, would you mind putting on my next slide, please? When it is the darkest, men see the stars, by Ralph Waldo Emerson. This picture is one of the newest pictures that are out that you can also see. Go to NASA website. And it's so bright, they have no idea how far away it is. And the darkest, my lesson too, because everything that's going on the planet, there are days that appear to be dark. There are days on our planet, even today, of struggles and strife. Yes, it could be the dark night of the soul. Even this week, my husband and I experienced a passing of a beautiful fur friend named Chief, who was with us for 10 years. He was 12 years old, beautiful Great Pyrenees. And there are some theorists, some philosophers feel that dogs are from the planet Sirius, which is in the constellation of Canis Majoris. And if you look at it, it looks like a dog. So Chief went back to the star system. And we had some dark moments of missing him and loving him and knowing he's in the stars. Knowing that possibly what's the possibility that even in the dark, we go outside at night and look at the stars, no matter where you are in the world. Even if it's a cloudy night, if you have access to internet or what have you, or you have a book of old astronomy pictures, look at the stars. They're always shining bright. Even if the sun is out on this side of the planet, there's darkness on the other side of the planet. And within that darkness, the light always shines. The sun always shines. So that is what we are to do, to shine in that, to step into that, to be in that. There's been a lot of, in my experience and some of my friends and family, a lot of what we would call death in the human condition, which is real, which many of us consider to be darkness. Well, if you notice, the light outshines the darkness. That's what the universe does. That's what we can do. We are of those star systems that no matter what is going on, no matter what you see on social media, on TV, in the media, light a candle as a representation of stars. The star within us, the light within us, the sun within us. Light that light ever, ever so bright. To stand in that, even in the sorrow, even when you are going through stages of grief, even when you're frustrated, even when you're angry, even if you're confused about the economy or just confused and don't know why you're confused. Stand in that light. Look at outside of yourself as well as inside of yourself. What can we all do? Can we go outside tonight, no matter where you are on the planet? Can you look at even a documentary on star systems? Take a break from the media, take a break from the news, take a break and look at a documentary on the planets and the stars, or even all the new discoveries. Allow yourself that and say, hey, I'm connected to that. I am that. Diego, would you mind pulling up our next slide, please? Ernest Holmes. I love this quote. The universe is impersonal. It gives alike to all. It has no respect of persons. It values each alike. Its nature is to import, ours to receive. And what that means to me is the universe is impartial. It does not care about skin color, male, female, binary, finances, whatever. It's still there. The sun does not care. The sun does not judge. The stars do not judge. The planets do not judge. They are finding new star systems as of last week, new bubbles in the constellation of Virgo. It does not judge. It stands in it. That's what these teachings are about. This is our principles. Do not let that sway you. Be in the presence. The stars are in the present moment, just as our fur people in the present moment, just as the trees are connected to the universal field. All the constellations are in the present moment. Diego, would you mind pulling the next slide, please? An affirmation I want to share with you all today. I am of the stars. Therefore, I am light and love. We are of the stars, and therefore we are light and love. Hold on to that. Be with that. How can you be with that every day, every night? We are that. We are that star system. We are connected from that, from the beautiful universal star, that which is the divine mother, Father God, the divine creator that works in us, as us, through us. And my third point is our connection to we are star stuff. The Bible. There are many scholars that believe Jesus possibly was from Arcturus, which is in the constellation of the Borealis. It's the fourth brightest star. Now, I have no proof of that. I like to think that's truly a possibility, the Great Wayshore. But there are so many things that link the stars to that great Christ consciousness that took the form of Jesus the Christ. Many people don't know this, and some people may know. There's gospels written in the stars. The Pleiades are written in the book of Job. Arcturus is written in the Bible, in the Gospels. And in Matthew 2, chapter 2, verse 11, when they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. How about we exceed in our joy? Maybe we see that in the joy and be it. What's the possibility that the Great Wayshore and other Great Wayshores, Buddha, Kuan Yin, are from star systems? Maybe we ought to remember that and recall that as we are connected to that. The Pleiades stars are compared to a swarm of birds flying together for a distant goal. Well, maybe that goal is not so distant, such as peace, love, and healing. It's not so distant. As close to us as our breath. To breathe in the sunlight is a mighty star. It's a powerful being. In Egyptian texts, the sun god. How about we breathe that in every morning? Diego, would you mind bringing up the next text, please? Diego's in the star system. The next slide, please. Well, we will move forward as Diego finds the slide. And also, another thing I want to leave with you from Genesis 26:4. I will multiply your descendants as the stars of heaven, and I will give your descendants all these lands, and by your descendants all the nations of earth shall be blessed. That is beauty. That is light. So whenever you feel there's a darkness, tap into that. We are being multiplied as those descendants. We are that. We are that light. We are that oneness. We are that joy. And one other quote to remind you, when it's darkest, men see the stars. We see the stars. To reiterate that, we see the stars. And if you ever doubt, look at a baby's eyes and you tell me that we're not from stars. Look into a baby's eyes, or a dog's eyes, or a kitty's eyes. Look into a deer's eyes. They're from the star system, and so are we. For now, let's take this into prayer and affirm that we are the star beings and the light beings, because we are from that grand Mother, Father, God. So if you will, join me. In this holy of holy breaths, our breath, we breathe in the light of oneness. For the divine creator, God, known by no name and all names, is all there is. That power, that love, that light, that giant star, that bright, harmonious love and joy and peace and harmony right here and right now. That's a joyous, fulfilling energy. For I know, sense, and feel, as I know for myself, Christina, I know for everyone listening on this call, later, now, and live, and in the present moment, wherever they are, we are all connected to the divine light of joy, of that Christ consciousness, of that higher elevation of the stars that produces peace, love, prosperity, and abundance of all forms. That divine spiritual alchemy of love and light and joy, of the divine star system that breathes and has us and has its way with us. I proclaim and exclaim peace, love, and joy and harmony and divine wisdom for each and every sentient being right here and right now, as we step into a new light of star energy of love and peace. I am grateful for Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Reverend Elzia, for Alice, Teresa, and Diego, and everyone on this call, and for everyone that is listening to this now into the ethers of the heavens. I'm grateful for the love and the presence of that the spiritual light, that which is God, is. And I now release this into the divine law, knowing it's done and complete, and so it is. Amen.